Yo, what's up, guys? This is Retronic Ice Cat, your Mr. Ice Cat's channel. Rate, comment, subscribe. You know what to do. Basically, this video is going to be about Stooshe, their new upcoming single Lockdown, their album, which will be out next year. First of all, their new single Lockdown is going to be out January 15th, 2016. So make sure you pre-order on iTunes if you haven't already. And their new album is going to be out. It's believed to be the second quarter of 2016. So it could be around spring, summertime. The album should be out for the first time in 3 years, because next year will make it 3 years since they released an album. So Stooshe have been busy for the past 2 years making their second album, doing mini gigs here and there. So basically, they've been keeping themselves active. They haven't split up. They didn't go their separate ways. They just had a little dispute with management and their ex-record label that they were signed to, Warner, in LA in the summer of 2013. So that's the reason why they haven't been promoted as much due to all of that. But the good news is that they are now independent. They have more control over their work, credibility, and everything. And they have better management. So they pretty much have more freedom. And they get to express the real them instead of being controlled and being putting themselves out there as something that they're not. You know what I'm saying? So I respect Stooshe for that. You know what I mean? Like being independent, doing their own thing. They seem a lot more happier than their previous times when they were signed to the major record label, because being signed to a major record label doesn't necessarily gonna make you happy, because at the end of the day you're not gonna get your full royalties, because half of the money that an artist makes that is signed to a major record label goes to their traveling, their manager, their merchandises, their albums, you name it, etc., etc. It goes on to all of that, and they only get what, 25% of their royalties, which is not enough. So maybe that's the reason why Stooshe wasn't really happy with their major record label deal and whatnot. I could be wrong, but I'm sure there's more to it than that. But you know, the most important thing is that they're more happier now. And this past Thursday, they did a gig at the Notting Hill Arts Club in Notting Hill. They smashed it up, just like they did at the Music Cube in Shepherd's Bush just about a month ago. They were performing some of their new tracks and their old tracks as well, like Slip, Blackheart. I really wanted them to perform My Man music. I really wanted them to perform that, but for some reason they didn't perform it. You know, I really like the reggae beat, the flow of the song, and everything. So, yeah, it has like that old school reggae vibe from like 80s, early 90s type of vibe, I would say. My Man music. It was a really good single. I really liked it, but doesn't look like they perform it that much. It's mainly Blackheart, Slip, and Fly Again that they most likely sing if they are doing their latest gigs and that. Those are the only old school songs that they perform from their old album, London with the Lights On. The rest of the stuff is just pure new school. Their new school songs, their new stuff that they now sing and promote out there. It sounds really, really good. Some of it is catchy as well, but it sounds really, really good. One of the songs that they did, I forgot what the song's called. I think it's called Breathe. It kind of reminds me of that Imagination type of vibe. Like, I know a lot of you cats wouldn't know who Imagination is. They're an old school R&B band, R&B soul band from the 80s. They were together throughout the 80s, right up to the early 90s. They did a song called Body Talk, Looking for the Midnight, and whatnot. They're pretty old school. I know a lot of these youngsters from this generation wouldn't know who they are, and I wouldn't expect them to, but I grew up listening to Imagination as well, like when I was a really young kid. And I still listen to their songs now and again, but Stooshe had that vibe, that Imagination vibe, like the beat, the voice and everything, like the female version of Imagination. You get me? It's like a mixture of TLC, Destiny's Child. I'd probably say Black Ivory as well. They were around in the late 90s for a bit, but for some reason they fell off pretty early. And the female version of Imagination. So basically, in a nutshell, Stooshe have that mixture of new and old school blended in together, and it just sounds so good. It really sounds good. Like, I can't wait to hear their new album when it comes out next year. I'm definitely going to be first in line for their second album. I've been waiting far too long, like over 2 years. We've all been waiting over 2 years for their second album to be released, and the time that they were away for was well worth it. At the end of the day, they took their time with it. They didn't rush it, because most major record labels will make their artists or group artists rush their album and make them having to rush it so it could be completed within at least 3 or 4 months, which ain't really enough time. And sometimes when you rush an album, it doesn't always sound good, because you would have to end up remastering it again. So it's always good to take your time. Like back in the days, old school artists would take a year, 2 years to release an album so it sounds organic and fresh. That's what Stooshe has done this time round, because when they were with Warner Brothers, I believe, their album London with the Lights On was originally supposed to be released November 2012, but it got pushed back to May 2013, because basically the album wasn't quite ready yet, so they wanted to recap a few things and tweak a few little things here and there on the album. The album was alright. It was really, really good as well. You know, can't complain that it was pushed back, because it was for a reason. They wanted to make the album sound good and fresh. And with the second album now that they've been in the business for about 5 years now, they know the ropes, so they've got it all together. And I know the second album and everything's going to be released in a better way than previously. So, yeah, next year, 2016, big things are going to be popping for Stooshe, little things stomping. So, they're going to be touring, I think, around the UK. I don't know if they're going to be touring in America. That hasn't been announced yet, but hopefully they expose themselves to the American fans as well, because there is a few squad fans out there in the US as well. So the only states that they've been to was California and Texas, I believe. Like when they first got together in 2011, and that they went to go meet Perez Hilton, whether it was in LA or Texas, but I know that they did like a little gig in Texas in 2011 as well. But they need to tour across the country in order to get good, decent exposure. And I believe they're going to do that at some point. I don't know when, but who knows? That might happen in 2017 if their UK tour is successful. That is, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I can envision right now. Because Stooshe have worked so hard over the last 5 years. Any other girl group right now would have split up. If they went through what Stooshe went through, they would have split up already. You won't hear from them again. Look what happened to Neon Jungle. They were signed to Sony. They released an album, Welcome to the Jungle. Didn't do too well, even though they had a couple of successful singles. The rest flopped, and now they're no longer together. Neon Jungle are history. You know, it was sad to see the group end, but I guess they wanted to do their own thing, go their separate ways. So technically, their heart wasn't really in it, if you know what I mean. But good luck to them. Stooshe, on the other hand, they are really, really strong. They are unbreakable. They proved to everybody, even management as well. Because I know they had Joe Perry as their manager at first, and I don't know what happened, but when they were locked out of their Twitter in 2013, she was the reason why they couldn't access their Twitter, because she selfishly locked them out of their own Twitter account. From my knowledge, like, I could be wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, but I heard somewhere along those lines that she was one of the reasons why they couldn't access their main Twitter. So they had to create their own individual accounts, which is a good thing as well, because they still wanted to connect with fans and that. So I'm glad that they did that. You know what I'm saying? Stooshe are real. Like what Karis said in one of her interviews back in 2012. She says, what did she say? Like, she sees her fans more than friends, and they don't see their fans beneath them. They just see them as human. They just see them as friends, treat them like friends, like normal people, have conversations with them, chill with them for a bit if they've got the time and everything. So they pretty much appreciate their fans and their dedication, because not many celebrities do that. Not many musical artists do that, because a lot of musical artists, in my opinion, are selfish. Some of them are just too big-headed. They think that they're above everybody else just because they have hit fame and all of that. But they don't realize that fame can only last so long, because when they flop, when they drop, the joke's going to be on them. So at the end of the day, all of that shit is just on borrowed time. Because if you treat others like shit, karma's going to get you like a bitch. And that's just the way I see it. Stooshe, on the other hand, they're not like that at all. They respect their fans. You know what I'm saying? They have a lot of respect. They appreciate them. They're real fans, that is. They're loyal, dedicated fans that have stuck with them through thick and thin over the years, from the beginning to the present time. And hopefully you fans continue supporting Stooshe through their journey, as I am. I've been a huge supporter of theirs for a few years now, and I'm going to continue riding with them all the way. 2016 is a big year for all of us, and I pray that Stooshe goes really, really far, and I know they will go far. Courtney, Karis and Alexandra, they have bright futures ahead of them, and they're going to rip shit up. New single, Lockdown, new album as well, along with fresh content and organic music. I just love Stooshe. They're my favourite UK girl group. And they are really, really underrated as well. And I feel that they don't get the credit that they deserve. I feel like they are somewhat overlooked. You know, that's just my opinion. They are overlooked by a lot of people, because a lot of people don't really know who they are. Like, they do, but they don't really take interest into knowing who they are and whatnot. That's why I say that they're underrated and they don't get the credit that they deserve. But I'm glad they're coming back and they're rebuilding themselves up to that level where they once were, because they're doing it in no organic way. So, yeah. To those of you who have been supporting Stooshe from the beginning up to now, I just want to say, keep supporting your true soldier. You're a true warrior. You're a real fan. You're a real supporter of Stooshe, and they really love you for it. You know what I'm saying? And to those of you who were fans of Stooshe and decided to jump off the boat because they were no longer heard of or on TV promoted by all these big corporations, then you was never a fan to begin with. You were just there for the spare of the moment. But then again, you can always be replaced by real fans. So good luck to you. But I just want to say, Stooshe, keep doing your thing. I love you girls, as always. And you're highly blessed. And you have your real supporters behind you 100%. You have good people around you. And I can see a bright future ahead of you. And hopefully one day I could work with you girls. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel the positive vibe and energy from you girls. And I know that will get you through the doors. 2016 is our year. Let's make it happen. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say right now. And peace and love. Promote love. Spread love. Eliminate the hate. And let's start to appreciate. Alright. So that's it for now. Rate, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at ElectronicIceCat. Subscribe to my other channel, Real News Talk, where I cover real news and world news. And also follow me on my new Instagram, instagram.com/RetroniCiceCat. So, yeah. Make sure you pre-order Lockdown on iTunes right now if you haven't already. January 15th, 2016 will be the release date of their single, Lockdown. And the album, watch out for their announcement. Sometime 2016, I believe, is going to be around between May, June, or July that the album could be released. And hopefully they do a meet and greet, signing as well, an album launch and whatnot. Who knows? We just have to wait and see for further announcement in the future. But yeah, and one more thing as well. I really liked their music video, Lockdown. It really reminded me of 100 Miles of Running, NWA, when they were running from the cops and whatnot. I really liked the bit where the cop trapped Karis onto a gate and looked as if he was going to try something on her, make a move or whatnot. And then all of a sudden, Alex and Courtney handcuffed the cop onto the gate. And then they made their escape. And then they were on the run from the police again. And then they must have hid inside some truck. Then the police couldn't find where they were. They escaped from the cop, GTA style. The truck drove them to the middle of nowhere, and then next thing you know, they were free. So yeah, I really liked their new music video, Lockdown. It was very intriguing and very interesting. I think that's one of their best music videos that they've done so far. Even though the video wasn't really that long, it was good enough for it to be one of the best. So yeah, this is only the beginning. This is not the end. 2016, the year of Stooshe, the year of the squad. Let's work hard and put words into action. One love. Peace.